So this week, looking at my diary, it looks fairly clear. I've purposely tried to keep it that way in terms of not having too many appointments. The reason for that is I really need to crack on with my EPA. So if you don't know, I'm studying for my senior leadership degree apprenticeship through the University of Gloucestershire. I've now done all of my assignments, passed all of those, and was awarded distinction, so I'm really happy with that. But as part of my funding side of things with the apprenticeship, I need to do my EPA, which stands for Endpoint Assessment, which is what gives me the accreditation from the CMI. So two things I need to prepare for is a massive portfolio of evidence showing all the examples of where I've done my knowledge and my skills and my behaviours, known as the KSBs, and put together sort of piece of evidence. I need max 15 pieces, but they've got to cover over 60 KSBs. So I need to sort of find those and talk about it and show the assessor where they are, so it makes their life easier. And I've also got to prepare a 4,000 word report, which is on a specific project that we've done recently, or I've done recently, should I say, and talk all about it, what happened, how I prepared for it, what the outcome was, what I've learned from it. So yeah, 4,000 words, so that's quite chunky. At least this time I don't need to do any academic referencing, which in my assessments and assignments I had to do, which takes up a lot of time with the reading side. So yeah, I need to crack on with that because I've got sort of 2-3 weeks left to go before I need to go into my gateway where I go forward to be assessed. So yeah, quite a lot of work to do. So that's this week's main agenda, get that out of the way because it's been lingering on too long.
So if you watched my first episode of Wecruit, you'll remember that I've mentioned my partner Yaz runs a successful balloon event company, and we've been waiting on our van. I'm delighted to advise that the van is now turned up, so I'll give you a little show of it. It means that Yaz will be able to do even bigger setups than she already is, make her life easier with getting to the venues with all the stock on board, ready to do the setup. So yeah, really exciting. Require quite a bit of negotiation and chasing, but yeah, that's nothing good comes easy, eh? So yeah, here it is. Thinking of getting some wrap done on it, so yeah, won't keep it plain, but yeah, looking really good.
So that was really good. So it was a previous client who we've worked with a lot before, has reached back out to us. They weren't able to use recruitment agents for quite some time due to a change in business approach, but because they've always been happy with our service, as soon as they were able to turn the tap back on with recruitment agents, they've come immediately to us. So that's always, really reassuring that our reputation, does the job and wins that business back for us. So yeah, love working with that client, so can't wait to get them back on the books. This morning doing something a little bit different, so done some mathematical forecasting, which is something I learnt on my accounting module on my master's course. So what I've been doing is looking at the annual turnover for the business all the way back since 2010, so over a 12-year period, and doing a 5-year forecast. So how I've been doing that is using Excel. So what I've done is used a line graph on Excel to map out the turnover for the 12 years of turnover, and then done a series of formulas and calculations to forecast. So what I've done is linear regression. So what linear regression is if you've ever done a line graph or a bar chart and done a trend line, that sort of straight line that sort of goes up, that is a linear regression. So I've used that. I've then also used a polynomial regression, which is a similar trend line, but it's got a to the order of 2, which allows for a slight curve in it in case there's a little fluctuation in the data, that allows for that as well. So I've done a polynomial regression, and then the third method I've used is exponential smoothing. So I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it's a formula that I was taught to use Excel. I was sort of just, the lecturer said don't question it too much, just trust it, and as long as you're triangulating the data, that's fine. So that gives an upper confidence and a lower confidence bound, and what that does is it mathematically forecast the next sort of number of years or the period. And so for this one I've chosen a 5-year period. So I've used all three and then triangulated them by doing an average of all three. That gives me a little bit more reliability in the data I am producing, so it's something I've been using since I learnt it last summer, and it helps me to be able to mathematically forecast the turnover for the business, or anything I want really. And it's good as we're coming up to the end of the company year end, just to see if we're on track or not. Fortunately we are, which is really good, and that's obviously positive for me as a business owner to see the business is doing what we want, but it's also important for our key stakeholders. So key stakeholders for us would be particularly our clients. They would want to use a recruitment agency that is being successful and is growing, because that means you are helping get the right people into the right jobs, and being successful in that, and able to offer that service to more people. Also to our candidates it's important, because again it's about getting the right people in the right jobs, and that we are consistently being successful in finding those successful matches, and the benefit is that we as a business like to reinvest quite heavily in. So by us being able to increase our turnover, that allows for more reinvestment in the business. So things like this, doing all these sort of YouTube videos, takes up time, takes up cost. That's something that's being facilitated by being able to reinvest in the business. So lots of things like that helps grow the service. So yeah, just done a bit of mathematics, which to some people might be boring, but to me it's really interesting, and when you've done it, and I've practiced this quite a few times, it does come sort of fairly easy. So I like to keep doing it every sort of quarter, just to see if we're on track. So yeah, a bit of a different thing, but obviously helpful to know the business is doing well. In terms of our process, what we would do is the next step would be just to get the terms of business agreed, so that we've got that in place. Upon receipt of the signed terms of business, we would then launch your vacancy within my team, and where we've been established for coming up 15 years next week, we've got a good database of candidates that we've engaged with, or they've engaged with us, and so we're able to look through our database to see if anyone is suitable, who matches sort of the criteria we're looking for in the right area for you, and we can then reach out to them to see if they're in the market, or if they know anyone who then could be a potential candidate. And then we've also got other avenues as well to be identifying candidates. So we've got access to all the major job boards that we can then be putting it up, and our website also performs very well when financial services individuals are looking for their next role, so they could be potentially applying for the job. And then we've also got social media, that we've got a growing presence where people are aware of us as a business and a brand, of what we do in terms of helping match the right people to the right jobs, and they will then reach out to us just to see if they've got anything. So got a couple of different avenues that we utilise, and it's never sort of a silver bullet in terms of which one's always the perfect one, but it's the combination of those that then helps us to identify candidates. We very much work on a quality, not quantity basis, so we're not interested in sending you half a dozen CVs and seeing which one, is of most interest. We would be doing that sort of almost first interview for you, in that we're speaking to the candidates, finding out what experience do they have, which providers, which platforms have they been using, what back office systems have they got experience of, and we can then provide you with that information along with the CV, so that you're in an informed position to then be able to take them into an interview, and we'll help guide you with sort of organising those, obtaining feedback, and then hopefully sort of discussing and coming to an offer that suits you and the potential candidate, and then we can sort of be around in the lead up to them starting. But in terms of any references or credit checks, etc., that would need to be undertaken by you as the employer, to make sure you're happy with all the information that's coming through with their sort of background checks. But we obviously can help facilitate with giving the candidate a nudge, or asking them to do anything to them being successful. In terms of then coming on to our fees, so we as a business, decent business, brand new client. He's looking to wind down potentially over the course of time. He currently works like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week at the moment, but he wants to get down to 4 days with like 5 hours a day, but he can't do that because he's held back by the amount of reviews he's got outstanding, which he needs a power planner to get through that review so that he can purely just sit and advise the clients. Hence why he needs a power planner who, it sounds like the business is a little bit in the old ways and needs to have someone bring it through into the new methods and make it more efficient. So we need sort of a power planner, but a power planner who's prepared to change processes and bring it to the modern way. Yeah, and it doesn't need like oodles and oodles of experience in terms of technical knowledge, but just someone who's got a bit of maybe a business mindset as well as a power planning skill set. So that was just a new client who's called up this morning, having seen us on the website. He used a general recruiter previously to try and recruit for an IFA role, but had little success, and so wanted to, this time around when recruiting for a power planner, utilise someone who's potentially got some financial service experience. He wasn't expecting the level of questions I've asked, and just gave me some really nice feedback there that he really enjoyed the conversation, felt it was very informative and very well structured, so that's always nice to receive. It's something I sort of do on a regular basis, but it's nice to get that feedback as well. Yeah, good business, small firm, but needs a power planner to help them really be more efficient in their processes and get through their reviews in a much more efficient way, because they've got new business that they can't write because they're so bogged down with reviews and their existing clients, which is holding the business back. So yeah, need to get that power planner in, because he's talking about recruiting an IFA, but that can't take place until they've got that additional report writing support from a power planner, because the administrators are just too swamped at the moment. So nice business, one that you naturally want to help. We're obviously going to be arranging terms and see if we can. So yeah, if you're a power planner in the Leeds area, got a proposition that could work well for you. So I like to stay in touch with industry news, and something that's just hit my inbox is that job vacancies have outpaced unemployment for the first time since records began. So unemployment was 3.7% between January and March this year, which is its lowest level for almost 50 years, which is fantastic to see, especially given the 2 years we've just had with COVID. And that's in comparison to job openings and job vacancies rising to a high of 1.3 million between January and March. That's a huge amount of vacancies available, and that it does explain why it is such a candidate driven market at the moment, and companies are finding it very, very competitive to recruit because there are so many other businesses looking to recruit, and the vast majority of people are already in work, so you're having to prize them away from their current companies, meaning you've got to deliver even more attractive propositions. So yeah, that's always interesting, and it does sort of provide a little bit of backstory to why the market is difficult at the moment. So yeah, if I have future news, I'll be sure to share it. Would also be interested to hear your thoughts on that. If you are struggling to find a role at the moment, what are the challenges you are finding? I'll be keen to know. So next meeting I'm about to jump into is with a client looking to recruit a financial advisor. They've got a portfolio of clients that they would like to be handed over to the new advisor. So we're talking around a £70,000 to £90,000 salary for a financial advisor in London, which is a healthy rate and should attract a nice quality candidate for them. So just going to go through that, learn a little bit more about the proposition, what they are offering to go with that, and get that one released to the team hopefully today. So yeah, so quite a bit of onboarding clients today. Going to do this meeting, be sort of max half an hour, and then I've got to jump in the car and then go to the local school, and I'll tell you about that when I arrive there. So yeah, let's jump on this now. No worries, pleasure to meet you both. Cheers, bye. Fantastic, so just got off the call with that particular client. We're looking at two types of candidates for this role, because they've got a situation where they've got a client bank that they want to pass over. It belongs to one of the directors of the business, and so it's a really favourable client bank, some high net worth individuals in there and households. So either looking at an experienced individual who can bring some of their own clients to top that up, and they will be remunerated accordingly for that, or we're looking at potentially helping someone who's maybe had a background as a paraplanner, got the level 4 diploma as a minimum and en route to chartered, and has the capability of taking on these high net worth clients. We've got some FTSE directors in there, so juicy clients that people and advisors want to get involved in. So that junior individual could then grow with the company, particularly as they're looking to do other acquisitions. So really nice client bank, really nice proposition, lovely chaps, keen to get the vacancy underway for them and see if we can source some candidates. So yeah, just a flavour of the vacancies we deal with here, and the level we go to understand the vacancy so we can give our candidates as best possible service. So yeah, fantastic.
Next meeting of the day is a little bit different, so just pop down to the local school, the secondary school here in our town, Kingsbury Green Academy, as I'm meeting Kath and one of the students. So Kath is one of the career advisors, fantastic lady who's massively helped our business and is a big advocate of it. She loves apprenticeships and promotes them where possible, and we've benefited from that in that 2 of our team members are ex Kingsbury Green students, and they do a fantastic job, and that's Jazz and Taylor. Couldn't sort of run the business without them now, which is a testament to them. And so Kath reached out to me recently as she's got another student who's expressed interest in a potential apprenticeship or some sort of work with us, either while she's still at school to get a bit of experience or after she leaves. So don't know much more detail, but I offered the opportunity to either have a Teams with her or even come down to the school and meet her in person, and she opted for meeting in person, which is really nice because it gives the student extra experience of meeting future employers, but also get to see them face to face. And who knows what might come off the back of it, because we're a big advocate of helping young people sort of find an apprenticeship and really start their career and give them good career prospects to start off in life. So that's what's going to happen. Obviously it's in a school, so I can't film it or anything due to safeguarding aspects, but hopefully it goes well, and who knows what comes off the back of it.
Now reached the end of the week, so reflecting back, and I was mentioning to you at the start of this video how I was going to have a little bit of a quieter week, really try and knuckle down with my EPA. Funny how things pan out. I've had a really busy week, lots of meetings been booked in, particularly with a lot of clients, so brought on some really exciting vacancies, which includes one that I've just been on. I didn't do a video on it because it's just gone from meeting to meeting, but it's a really exciting opportunity. So, and I particularly know the audience and subscribers of this channel will be benefiting from it. So it's for a trainee mortgage advisor, and I've got 13 opportunities available across North London, East London, and a little bit into Essex. It's employed, so fantastic to have a salary there, plus car allowance once you achieve cash status, and 15% commission on net banked income. So every mortgage you're writing that goes through and gets banked, you're earning money on, plus if you sell in the protection with it as well, you're earning even more. So really exciting opportunity. Leads being fed through on a consistent basis. You should be able to expect about 8 leads per week being given to you, plus there's opportunity to access a regular flow of new clients, and plus the old ones to go through as well. So you can push it as well as much as you want to. It's really one of those opportunities that what you put in is very much what you get out, and people within a year, 2 years can be building on a really nice client portfolio that then you're getting the remortgages come through, the referrals come through, and then you're really rolling then. So fantastic opportunity. Love to get trainee roles out because it's so nice to then be able to get more people into the industry. So yeah, feel free to drop me a message on LinkedIn if you're interested in that trainee mortgage advisor. If you're in North London, East London, or sort of South Essex, you've got to have full CMAP and a sales background, or if you've got CMAP 1 and got CMAP 2 and 3 booked, then we potentially might be able to get you in early through our connection and representing you, but you must be committed to going in a sort of a target driven environment, because it's very much what you put in was what you get out, and they want people who've got that mindset as well. So yeah, fantastic opportunity. Drop me a message if you're interested in that one. So this is episode 3 of Wecruit. I'm hoping you're enjoying it, and thank you if you're at this point in the video for sticking with me. It is really about trying to give you value
and showing what goes on in financial services recruitment, and giving you as much value, and being the first place for guidance as well in the industry. It can often be confusing with a lot of different terminology, not knowing where to go to. So I and we as a business want to be that person and people for you. So I hope you have a fantastic week. This video is being released, I believe, on the week of the Jubilee, so it's a really nice long weekend, 4-day weekend. So yeah, fantastic, and I'm sure a lot of people are going away and enjoying that. So have a great time, and tune in for the next episode. Have a great week. Cheers, bye.